Hey guys, Derek Xie, physical therapist. In today's video, I'll go over the 3 best tests to see whether you have shoulder impingement or not. Now, I do want to put out there that these tests are supposed to be provocative tests, meaning they are supposed to be painful, especially when they are positive. Also, I'm going to show you the modified versions of these tests because the original ones were meant to be performed by your medical provider when your arm is as relaxed as possible. Now, given that you're going to be performing these tests on your own, it's very unlikely that your arm is going to be relaxed. If all 3 of these tests are painful and positive for you, then it is very highly likely that you have shoulder impingement. If only 1 or 2 of these tests are positive, then it is only somewhat likely that you have shoulder impingement, or that you may have some minor underlying issues that aren't revealing itself until you get a full evaluation. If you can't do any of these 3 tests and your arm is painful to a point where you can't even lift it up, and when you try to lift it up, it looks like this. You have to lean backward to try to get the arm up and you can't even get it above the horizontal, then it's likely that you may have a rotator cuff tear, and that prompts a call to your orthopedic physician so then they can get a good look at your shoulder. If it turns out that you do have shoulder impingement and all 3 of these tests are positive for you, I made a video in the past about exercises to do for shoulder impingement, and I will link that in the description below for you. Now that we got all of that out of the way, let's get right into it. The first test that we're going to be performing is called the Hawkins-Kennedy Test. It's named after 2 physicians, Dr. Hawkins and Dr. Kennedy. Thus, they just combined the 2 together. A positive test with this one is going to be pain that's provoked in the shoulder that you're performing it on. Alright, we're going to use the right shoulder as an example. So to perform the Hawkins-Kennedy, you're going to bring the shoulder up to about 90 degrees, bend the elbow to about 90 degrees, take your other hand, grab your elbow, and with this elbow, you're going to apply pressure downward, pushing the shoulder into the position of what's called internal rotation. So internal rotation is this for the shoulder in this position. And here, you're just applying pressure to end range. If this hurts, then it is a positive test. With the Hawkins-Kennedy, even if you do this on a healthy shoulder, it will still be uncomfortable. What's important with a positive test is that the pain that is provoked is the pain that you are familiar with in your shoulder, not discomfort. Alright, test number 2 is called the painful arc sign. With the painful arc sign, you are moving your shoulder out into abduction up as far as you can go. A positive test with this one is pain that's experienced at about 60 to 120 degrees. So about right here is where it's about 60 degrees, and then this is 90 degrees here, and over here is about 120 degrees. So within this range, if you experience pain in the shoulder here, then that in itself is a positive test. Also, the other thing to note, if you bring it up and you experience pain and you keep going up and the pain goes away, that's also likely that it's shoulder impingement. Alright, so the last test is called the Infraspinatus Test. The infraspinatus is part of your rotator cuff. So here is the shoulder blade. The infraspinatus lives on the shoulder blade. This is the front over here. This is the back. The infraspinatus lives right over here, and it kind of comes through, becomes a tendon, and attaches over to the back of the humeral head in this position. The responsibility of the infraspinatus is external rotation. So that's this motion right over here. So the test basically calls you to engage the infraspinatus. So to do the test, you have your elbow out to the side like this. Elbow also bent to about 90 degrees. You are to engage the muscle by going into external rotation. The only thing that's different is you take your other arm and you hold by the forearm right over here, and then you go into external rotation. So you're doing somewhat of an isometric exercise. When this is painful, then that will in itself be a positive test. If all 3 tests is negative for you, meaning none of them have pain when you do them, then that's a good sign. That means you're in the clear for shoulder impingement. However, based on the research article that I pulled this from, if Hawkins-Kennedy is painful, but painful arc, and the infraspinatus test is not, then your likelihood of having impingement is still very low. That's all I have for you in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this content or found this helpful, please consider liking and subscribing. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.